Have you ever wondered if you can get high off of purple mist? Well, Angels of Death is here to answer those questions. Hey y'all, this is Solomon rambling. We're back with Angels of Death again. I try to do a different opening because supposedly it's really annoying to do the hey y'alls, this is my name. But you know what, I don't know any other way to talk, so that's the way we're going today. If you notice a difference from my previous videos, you're quite the eagle-eyed viewer because I have had a haircut since the last videos. I've also had a new microphone, so if my voice is coming to you in crispy? I think that's more just something to describe chicken. If it comes to you in crisp vocal tones, that is a present from Editor 1, Player 2, who I much appreciate for sponsoring me in this pursuit of commentating over crappy video games. But anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get into Angels of Death. So far, as you can see, we're continuing from our last adventure where we met this preacher guy who talks about God and she talks about God. It's a very God-like game in the sense that they're wondering about God and there's suicide. I don't know. It's things. Zack in this episode is perpetually dying. But like all anime characters, he can bleed out for as long as he needs to until he's no longer needed in the story. So there's a good chance that I'll probably live through this. And that is how we need to develop our own medical systems. If everything was based off narrative, no one would die. But yeah, this one's going to be difficult to narrate over because the majority of this episode is basically these two talking and just agonizing over the fact that he's dying, with the preacher commenting, "I am judging you. I am trying to figure out if you are worthy of living." But we'll get into that. I know you're all on the tiptoes of your feet trying to figure out what's going to happen to Ray and Zack. So I'll let this story continue as is. One of the things I got to get used to with this new microphone is it's kind of like this whole shebang thing that's attached to a music stand, and this is great big ball. It's a blue ball microphone. I don't think they call it a blue ball. I think they just call it blue. But it's a blue snowball microphone. So it's this big ball right in front of my face, which conveniently is also in the way of the screen that I'm watching. I should probably change this as we go on. Multitasking, everyone. I'm so prepared to make this video. And done. Okay. At this point, I have to go back to the preacher to tell him that I do want to go to the bottom floors. It was a good thing that I had to check in with Zack because who knew if I actually wanted to do that or not. So I'll say I'll take the test. And you know something's wrong because it's a test. Please don't do anything to Zack. Uh-oh. We're going to learn just how dicey this all is. And the purple mist is here again. So already from the start, this is a really crappy test because he's giving her drugs, and normally that is a really big offense, but there don't seem to be any rules in these basements. We'll let it slide. Yes, I do feel compelled. Oh, he speaks in such proper tones. Shall we get going, Rachel Gardner? I bet he's a prick. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to really cuss or say bad words on this. This is a family-friendly video. So even though Zack says a whole bunch of cuss words, I myself will refrain some such vulgar. Yeah. This episode is going to be a bit longer. Again, I recorded about an hour and 20 minutes of footage. Most of it's garbage, so I didn't include it in here. But it's going to be a longer than regular episode, more than at least 25 minutes, probably around the 35-minute mark, as you can probably see from your YouTube abilities. The reason I'm doing this is I do want to get this series done in a relatively shorter time span, just because it's time to move on to other things. I got this handy-dandy microphone, so I want to speaketh about other things other than an anime RPG that doesn't have many RPG elements. It's really just a visual novel. I don't know why I said RPG. Anyway, we have gone back to B3, and as you can tell, somebody recently came in and gave it a makeover. They decided to go with the whole shifting purple walls. It was a pretty big facade that they used in the 80s. It hasn't quite caught on popularity since, but I think it's pretty cool. You got a little like flower image back there. It could induce nausea, but you know, that's about $7.99 if you want to buy it at Home Depot. So we go ahead and start. As you can see, things are stacked against me, or in this case, Ray, and we're probably not going to pass the test. Because I am still endlessly optimistic that this game can change and, you know, become a little more engaging, you're going to see me do everything in my power to question that line of reasoning that I just have to go from point A to point B. And like we even see it right here is I'm supposed to go back to the jail to get some sort of key or some sort. And some games will just let you try to remember where you have to go. This game holds your hand and says, I'm going to take you there. That was a bad voice. I apologize for everybody. I don't know how clear my voice is and how raspy that was, but I apologize. So, up we're coming. We're getting to a part where I'm going to die. And something finicky happens that doesn't allow me to save because the game's stupid. And so, we're going to make sure you don't have to rewatch everything because basically I'm going to be booted back to the beginning of this video. And you don't need to hear me cussing up a storm like I did when I was playing the game and just rapidly tapping A like I was providing somebody some form of CPR. So we're going to get there. The arm-looking thing popped out, and all of a sudden, what's going to happen? Oh, sorry, I jumped the gun a bit. There are ghosts. And all of a sudden, I skip through that, and I'm dead. Okay. At this point, the screaming commences. See you soon. And we're back. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that little skip. You're welcome for not having to see it. Oh, and I died again. So, I don't know what I'm trying to expect from this game. I'm hoping for some level of complexity, but that's not the case right here. I just have to figure out how to run as fast as I can and just keep going. There's no need to pause or anything like that. Pausing allows some element of skill. And see, I was like, oh, I'm going to dodge it. No, Ray, you don't do that. There's no dodging. These spirits are going to stomp you to death with their ethereal forms because that's how ghosts work. Yeah. Loading screens and all that fun stuff. Player 2 is playing God of War 3 right now, which is a lot more interesting than this video, but I'm not going to show that because this is my video and I don't use PlayStation blasphemy on my channel and stuff. Anyway, I got it. So, I can't use my gun anymore. What do I do now? Oh, I could use all the torture devices in this place to kill all these creatures. And here we come to our first logical issue with this. We're going to get to it in a bit. That takes some percolating to get there. There needs to be some more exposition going over everything. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And wait a bit. I'll watch player 2 play this game. She's getting combos right now. But yeah, that's going on. I recently bought her a PlayStation 4 for the holidays. I regret my decision immensely because it has dirtied this house of Nintendo that I have created for generations. But I can live in blasphemy. I've done it before. I'll do it again. So now we got a fun little mini game. And so you see the reticule on the screen, and I am going to shoot these transparent figures. At this point, you're probably guessing that something's wrong with this. That why are these people even here? Why are we just hallucinating this? Are these actual prisoners that are trying to escape? But it's given us quite the good clue that we need to shoot the legs rather than the head. This is totally counterintuitive to all sorts of zombie games, but I'm guessing more than anything that that's how the game registers whether it's a correct shot or not. So, you know, I got that guy. He thought he could hide, that little jerk. We go around. It has some unique music in the background, so you can enjoy it. The music itself isn't really bad in this game. There's some pretty atrocious sections where it kind of just ring-ding-dings along, especially that guitar solo area. back in like episode 3, I believe. But for the most part, it's actually pretty competent. It has this kind of electro feel to it. You can do the electric slide. I don't even know how to do that dance. That's something that's interesting to me. Uh-oh. She appeared. What is this? Oh, what a terrible thing I've done. We're going on Majora's Mask on that. 10 points to anyone who gets that reference. Anybody? Anybody? That's right, you all fail. Majora's Mask. Yeah. Anyway. What was that? Wait, it's gone? Huh. I don't get it. At any rate, I gotta hurry. Keep that part in mind, everybody, because she's going to repeat that section about 50 times from here on out. The same formula. Something weird happens, and then she says there's no time to worry about it now, and moves forward. You think after like the 6th, no time to worry about it, she's going to start worrying about something. This whole hallucination stuff should clue her that something's wrong, because there weren't moving wallpapers beforehand. But I guess people on acid don't really know what's real and what's not. I can't speak personally, but, I believe I've talked to people on LSD before, so there's that. Did not a soul give chase and impede your progress? No, someone did, but I shot them all. Oh! Why would you do something? Because they were in the way. Oh my gosh. Ray, that was so awful. How could you do such a thing? Imagine if you had just said, because they killed me many times. They were a threat to me. I needed to make sure I didn't die. That'd be probably different and more understandable. But no, Ray, you gotta give this kind of vague answer that allows Mr. Preacher Guy to be like, But anyway, let's get to the next floor. That they're also using the whole sliding wallpaper imagery found in the 90s. And it was very popular among people that just drank mushrooms in the morning. I don't really know how you drink mushrooms, probably with a blender, but that's kind of a health fad food. Sunfast, I think, was popular in the 90s. Whatever the case. So already he's saying mean things right now. He has a devious little smile, even though he looks like a clown up from afar. Oh well, let's get to it. Okay, you got this, Ray. Yeah, you look at that. You figure out what's going on. Go through this entire section. The body's gone again. Probably still there. You're probably hallucinating the emptiness of it. I don't know what kind of drugs are being used to make her hallucinate in such a specific way. This is like chemical warfare to its finest ability, and I don't know why a random basement dwelling of murderers has this technology. But, who knows? Maybe Japan's funneling all its best and brightest minds and money into these kind of death traps. I wouldn't put it past them. They've done some weird things before. That whole Battle Royale thing, that was messed up. But it did work and create Fortnite, so I guess that's a win-lose? Who knows? All depends on what you're feeling. You could be one of those people that are like, I love Fortnite. It's the greatest thing. And you're probably 12 years old. Or you could be that person like, meh, which is the majority of people out there. Or you can be like those screeching screeching idiots. They're like, oh God, Fortnite's the most disgusting thing in the world. It gives me cancer. I'm going to make memes and post them and get many upvotes. And you, sir, are the scum of the earth. And if this video ever gets popular, this is how I make a controversial comment. Ding, 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 ding. Anyway, I gotta figure out, I went the opposite way purposely because I thought maybe if I went the other way, I'd find a different way to do this puzzle and then I wouldn't be ridiculed for my evilness. Nope, there's only one way out of it. And the one way out is shame. Okay. Look at everything again. No, the coffins were not there, Ray. It's okay. It is covered in dirt, and that one is tightly shut and surrounded by copious amounts of blood. That's how I describe lots of blood. It's in a copious supply. Wonder how that appeared in the Japanese. Was it like the writing that hodgepodge? a mix of slang and like really astute wording that you'd only typically see in fine literature and ACT testing. Who knows? So I'm going to open that up, find out that there is a button or thingamajig far in the back, but she can't reach it. So we need something long and thin. And before you start answering needle dick, that's not what we need. So let's see. Can't go that way. Check my inventory. My handbag's not going to do it. We better move on and progress the story. Otherwise, all I'm going to be able to say is basically penis jokes. And we don't want that. A broken pickaxe. That's how we do it. Because that's the logical way to start things. But I need something to extend it. And what can I do to do that? Maybe I get to those weird toy things. And let's see. Oh my God! They're moving! They're protruding from the gravestones. That's the scariest thing in the world. There you go. That's your good thinking skills, Ray. So, I'll kind of give you the spoiler alert for later in this series. The preacher interprets these actions as being evil because I destroyed these perfectly innocent hands. And that was evil because I used the hands for my own wants. I previously thought that, like, oh, she's hallucinating. These must be rats that she's killing and attaching to a pickaxe to reach something. But no, they're just toy hands. There wasn't anything that actually was there. He just created this test where I kill toy hands and says I'm an awful person for doing so. I don't know if like that was a test of character. Like if I went on a date with somebody and they put a bunch of Skittles in front of me and said enjoy, and after I ate them, she's like, those are the fetuses of future babies. How dare you do that? Why did you want to do it? Because I thought it'd be tasty. And she's like, you're disgusting. And that'd be the end of the date. Probably a good thing because she sounds a little crazy. But it's the same issue right here. This is one of the first times that player 2 is probably listening to me in the background. I can't really hear her to see if she's laughing. If she laughed too much, I'd probably get mad at her for interrupting the recording. So I'm just going to stare at the back of her head menacingly to see if anything changes. Oh yeah, she's listening. Anyway, put the strange pickaxe to use. But going back to the topic of how these trials are full of crock. The other one where I was shooting people, possibly prisoners, it wasn't prisoners. They were just shapes. There was nothing. I didn't do anything wrong. But again, he's judging me for killing these creatures that were actually killing me. And that leads me to the question, how were these things actually killing me? Were they like bullets? I don't know. Hallucinations, last time I checked, don't kill people. Even if it's a game. Oh, you only think about yourself. We're going to get to some really twisted logic right here. And like, you know, that's a trope that you can use in some series, is they have a villain that is so stuck up their own butt with a philosophy that makes no sense, but then convinces the main character that they're wrong based on this own philosophical belief system. But for this one, it's just so far-fetched. It's like, it's out there, we'll get to it, and yada, yada, yada. I am talking a lot. One thing I hear, and I've seen complaints online, this is especially in relation to Nintendo's new policy about YouTube videos. They said that people cannot post videos of their games that are basically just the game itself. So you can't record the content, just post it. You need to do something creative with it. So whether that's splicing together a review or some sort, or just providing commentary, you need to do something like that in order for it to stay online and be according to Nintendo's policy. Some people were complaining that, oh great, there's already enough 14-year-olds and amateur YouTubers talking over videos, and I just want a simple walkthrough or playthrough where there's nothing. There's no talking, you can just enjoy experience. So that doesn't work, but for the sake of you people out there, I will let you have about 5 minutes of silence. In that time, I just want to acknowledge that there's going to be a pile of barf that chases after Ray. And if that doesn't scream horror, I don't know. But I'll be back so that you can, all those people who don't like speaking, can enjoy 5 minutes of silence. Goodbye. Must weigh like 10 tons or something. And I'm back. Oh, it's a black screen too. We get to go back to Danny right now. So that's a nice little thing. A callback to episode 2 of my series. I like that. Let's do this. So, of course, in a surprise that surprised no one, we have the main villain that was first introduced come back, and he's basically the same. Oh, but Zach, you can't do it. Such a slow poke. Oh, look at this as a heart-to-heart moment between everybody. Body armor and blood transfusion packs hit me hard. I bet it did, dude. But there's a problem because he's probably still bleeding, but oh well. Yep, it's okay, Dr. Danny. Oh, let's get some more development right here. I guess that's what this series does, is we see more character from Zach. Ray is still pretty much the same old like a girl, but good old Dr. Danny's coming back with his peepers. And my God, does he have an amazing love for peepers. Very angry. I can't take him seriously. Exactly, Zach. Exactly. Who gives a flying fart nugget? Yep, that's how we're going to replace the word fuck, because I can't say that. Anyway. She's there. She's alive. Oh, look at that. That was a huge burn. Oh, yes. He's going to make a proposal. Look at that. Let's see. Zach, what can you do? Oh, scoop out Rachel's peepers and give them to him. So much good can happen. And he's like, no. Which again, like, I get they develop feelings for each other now. And so we're at this point where we're like, just kiss already. But again, we still don't know if this is a weird pedophilic relationship. Zach could be 27, 30, 18, 5. We don't know. He's just tall and lanky and obsessed with murder, much like young strapping men are today. But there we have it. A chance encounter, and we move on forward. Let's see. As I was playing this is probably the first time in the series where I was getting frustrated. As I've been recounting in my previous videos, I've been not angry. I said that it's fine. It's just boring because it doesn't do anything. It's not exactly bad. It's just meh. At this point, though, I am getting frustrated because it's the same old crap every level. You're not doing anything. This is actually one moment in the entire series that I found impactful and worthwhile in playing. We get a glimpse of Zach's room where we basically learn that we humanize him a bit. He lives in an utter pigsty and it's a squalor, and he deals with some pretty crappy stuff. He eats cereal that he mixes with soda. He drinks a lot of soda, eats a lot of junk food. He doesn't have much to sleep on. Everything's dirty. And he drinks from a cup that is broken because he doesn't have much else. You see dirty bandages everywhere, and it does really paint a sad picture where you genuinely feel sorry for the character. I like it because it makes him a pitiable soul. And with other series, you have this villain that you kind of eventually like because they're cool, they're savvy, they do something interesting. Maybe they have a glimpse of something good in him. That's going to be the case for Zach, at least I assume so, is that he does have a good side. He can learn to love and be kind. But more than anything, this is a character that isn't really to be admired. He's just a sad sack of depression. depression. And I find that novel because we don't see him as a strong character. We see him as a weak child at this point. He's stupid, he's uneducated, and he can't survive on his own. If anything, being taken to this basement was probably a benefit to him. This is a world where he can survive, and in the outside world, he would have been probably caught pretty darn quickly. At least I assume so. And so, I like this moment. 10 out of 10. In a game that's very much probably a 4 out of 10. But yeah, I want something more from it. And as the game gets progressively more predictable, it's that much more boring, and boredom usually turns into frustration, which turns into hate, which turns into the dark side. But anyway, what we get to this is, if you've been following these videos, you know what's going to continue. There's no way that Ray is going to be considered innocent in this preacher's eyes, and so she's going to go through some sort of punishment that involves others, probably hallucinations, and she must battle it. Meanwhile, Zach is perpetually dying, as I said earlier, and he's always going to seem like he can't go on until the last second where he can push on and move forward and be the hero for everyone. And when a game is so dependent on its story, and that story just sucks, then you got a crappy game. I try to find something good in this. I've been, crap talking it since the beginning. But it really does hit home that concept that I'm kind of done with this series, and I'm in the middle of making it. I imagine I may have maybe 1 or 2 more play sessions, which means probably 4 more videos after this one and the next one, if I'm lucky. I'm assuming there's only 5 episodes in this series. I haven't looked online to check. But that's the ideal scenario. And that's not the most positive to attitude when you're trying to entertain people. But I very much see this as a process for me, and that you really do have to choose a good game to play in these Let's Plays. You have to choose something that's so bad that you can play off of it, have some fun with it, and you usually don't do it for more than a few videos. Or you find something that is engaging that you can make a series of maybe 10 or 20, or you can go what a lot of streamers do and YouTubers, where you find a game that has immense replay value or is competitive like Fortnite and just play it to death until people are sick of the fat and move on to another game. Or you do something like Northern Lion, where he just never stops playing The Binding of Isaac and never will, because there will always be new expansions for that game, no matter what Edmund says. So, again, we're back into hallucination phase. We moved on to the 2000s in terms of moving wallpapers. And a giant snake. So, I'm going to save, which obviously means that this snake can kill me. Once again, by this point, everyone imagines it's an hallucination. But good thing I know how to keep a button down and can get to the next sequence, because I'll live through this. So, let's see. What are you talking about? We'll take the door behind us. You knock some sense into her, Zach. She needs the sense knocked into her. That's how you teach her things. By hitting her. Oh, she had unique eyes. Oops. But a giant snake. Oh, there you go. He does use quite a bit of profanity. Come on, Zach, clean up your act. You got kids watching this show. Maybe. I don't know. Well, we are nearing the end of this point. It was hard to decide where to cut this video because this is just one really flippin' long sequence. As I was recording, I was like, okay, I just want to get to a stopping point. And that stopping point never seemed to come. So, anyway, they're going to have a little heartfelt moment where they check in on each other. They see if each other's alive. They have some banter. And it's it's shallow dialogue. We know this information already, and I bet you can very much make it shorter and still get your point across. So we give him the knife, and it's like, ah ha ha, this is my good old buddy, Mr. Knifey. So we're going to move on. Oh, wait, sorry. I forget the obligatory section where we need to show care by saying, you can't do this. I need to help you. No, I'm a big manly man, and I don't like women touching me. So stay tuned for that moment. Oh, and this weird look on her face. It's almost as if she cares. That's amazing. No one saw this coming. Uh-oh. We aren't playthings, but what else is going to say? He does have some witty comebacks. Part of me being a monster. Yeah, let's pick up this tired theme and talk about it some more. Oh, it bothers her. Would you quit making that face? Nah. So, we got some interesting stuff. We got to go find the medicine. Wait, I'll go. Then hurry your ass. Can't run, so the B button will no longer help me with my dashy dash capabilities. There's a trail of blood. Ooh, it's Dr. Danny's. And it's the fuck if I know. That's a unique creature. But, yeah, we're going to learn more about it. We're going to follow Danny's bloody tracks to the next level. But we'll do it. Until then, well, bye.